Congratulations on the purchase of your new Trackless MT. Although you will find your new equipment very simple to operate, we would strongly suggest you first view the following video. It is also recommended that in future, any new operator to the Trackless also view this video before being permitted to operate this equipment. Because this video relates to public safety and operator safety, we also recommend periodic review by all operators and safety committee members. We will now commence to do a circle check just like you would on any other piece of equipment. When we make reference to the right or left side of the machine, it is as if the driver were seated with the door being to the left. Starting off, check the air filter pre-cleaner for dust, dirt and debris in the summer and snow and ice in the winter. Make sure to secure lid after cup is repositioned. Raise the hood and install the hood prop. If machine is used in dusty conditions, the air filter must be checked on a daily basis. Remove the nut and the cup. Remove the secondary nut. And remove the filter. Gently tap against a hard surface. If excessively dirty, carefully blow out with compressed air or replace. Install filter and secure nut. Empty out debris cup and install with arrows facing down. Open side hood and remove dipstick. Check engine oil level. If low, add correct amount as per service department. Tractor is factory shipped with 15W40. Check for coolant, hydraulic, or fuel leaks. Check the air conditioning belt if so equipped. Check the fan belt for any nicks, cracks, or any linen that may be showing. Check the tires for any flat spots, nicks, or abrasions, and make sure that the tire pressure is up to 32 pounds per square inch. With a new tractor, or whenever a wheel has been removed, make sure to retorque the lug nuts to 110 foot-pounds. This must also be done to the outer duals if so equipped. Moving to the rear, make sure that the rear screen is in place. During summer use, be sure to remove any grass clippings that may have accumulated. And finally, check the rear oil couplers for leaks. During the summer months, it is very important to blow out the rad and the oil cooler on a daily basis. Using the factory supplied air wand, open the doors, and with the air hose attached to the air wand, clean out the rad and the oil cooler, blowing out the bottom and the top, and make sure to get all the corners. This is a daily maintenance requirement. If this is neglected, it may require 20 to 30 minutes at the end of the week to clean them out. Make sure to replace the air wand at the top of the radiator. Judging by the exterior of the following radiator, it looks clean. However, let's put some compressed air to it and see what happens. As you can see, the daily maintenance has been neglected. Remember, it is important to clean both sides so that the air can travel unrestricted through the fins. Check the coolant level in the overflow tank. And remember, never open the radiator cap when hot. Make sure the cab's coolant shutoff tap is set for the appropriate season. Verify that hydraulic oil is 3/4 of an inch below the top elbow. If low, check with your service department for the correct type. Factory supplied oil is Dexron 3. If for some reason you should blow a hydraulic hose, stop immediately. Do not try to drive to the nearest repair facility, or serious damage will result. The hydraulic oil is added to the rear tank, diesel fuel is added to the front tank, and make sure to start each shift with a full tank of fuel. Moving to the midsection of the machine, we have either 1 or 2 washer bottles, depending if equipped with the optional rear wiper. Then we have some very important grease fittings. These fittings must be greased at the start of each shift. Upper pivot pin, the lower pivot pin, center frame grease whips, 2 per side, the front steering clevis, the remote rear steering clevis, and if in doubt, refer to the underhood grease chart. To move the seat to a comfortable position, move the lever under the seat pad to slide the seat forwards or backwards. Also, to add or subtract air, turn on the key, push the button in for adding air, or pull it out to deflate. Before moving the machine, always make sure the seat belt is secured. Starting with the overhead panel in the cab, on the left we have the cold engine preheat button. In order for this button to work, the ignition key must be turned on and the button held in for 30 seconds. Next we have the defroster fan with the fuse above it. Most switches have a 15 amp fuse above them. We have the low oil pressure, high engine temperature shutdown system. When this buzzer sounds and the light comes on, you have 30 seconds to remove the machine out of traffic. The machine will shut down. In order to restart, rearm by pushing the button in. AM/FM cassette. Optional rear wiper and washer. Strobe light. Backup light. Power takeoff switch. And remember, power takeoff may only be engaged at engine idle. Headlights and marker light switch. Optional water tank switch. And at the far right, we have an empty auxiliary switch. Front windshield wiper and washer, and a 4-position ignition switch. Up overhead, we have the optional air conditioner with a forward-facing temperature control switch and a rearward-facing fan control switch. Over on the right, we have the dome light. In order for the dome light to work, the headlights must first be turned on. The tractor comes equipped with tilt steering, signal lights. The signals do not self-cancel, and 4-way flashers on the opposite side of the column. Moving towards the gauges, on the left we have the speedometer odometer, hydraulic oil temperature gauge, engine coolant temperature gauge, fuel gauge, engine oil pressure gauge, voltmeter, and tachometer with built-in hour meter. Moving to the hydraulic control valve, the first forward-facing lever closest to the seat is for raising or lowering the front left cylinders. By pushing the lever all the way to the bottom of its stroke, it locks itself into the float position where we recommend all attachments be operated. The next forward-facing lever corresponds with the yellow front hydraulic couplers. It raises, lowers, and has a float position. The next lever closest to the window corresponds with the red hydraulic couplers. It as well raises, lowers, and has a float position. The first rearward-facing lever closest to the seat is a front power valve, controlling the right front and rear blue and white couplers. It is held in the on or up position by a magnet. The last rearward-facing lever is for the optional rear 3-point hitch, and it also corresponds to the front green coupler. The lever on the rear wall of the cab is for the optional pump, which corresponds to the blue and white couplers on the left side of the cab. It is also held in place by an electric magnet. Keep in mind the power takeoff must be turned on for this circuit to function. Moving to the right console, we have the temperature control knob, the air ride seat fuse, the electric hydraulic magnet fuse, and any other optional fuses. Throttle, the operator's manual, and an area for any additional optional switches. In the far right corner we have the horn button. Please note this shield covers a lot of wires and is not a place for self-tapping screws to hold such things as two-way radio clips. To the right of the seat we have the emergency brake lever with the buzzer. When the brake is engaged, the buzzer should sound. Next we have the 2-speed transmission shifter. The middle position is neutral, up is low gear, and down is high gear. It may be necessary to feather the foot control pedal in order for the gears to mesh. Never exit the cab without shifting into neutral and applying the emergency brake. Also, shift into neutral before starting. If the machine is equipped with an optional deep reduction transmission, it is engaged by pulling up on the red shifter lever while the machine is stopped. The Trackless MT is equipped with a hydrostatic transmission. Pushing the right pedal forward will cause the tractor to move forward. The further the pedal is pushed in, the faster the tractor will go in relation to the engine RPM. For reverse, remove the foot and push the rearward part of the pedal down. Releasing the pedal should cause the tractor to automatically return to neutral. Transmission also has a neutral safety switch incorporated. The tractor should not start if the pedal is just a small increment to the forward or reverse position. Even though the tractor has a braking system incorporated in the hydrostatic drive, you should still use the left brake pedal to stop the machine or just to alert traffic that you are going to stop. To access the tractor power takeoff shaft, remove the 2 wing nuts and slide the cover under the seat. Do not operate the tractor with the power takeoff cover removed. To lock the door, move the lever down and trip the latch. Moving to the front of the cab, this is where the majority of the attachments are hooked up. Starting with the hydraulic couplers, you can see each coupler is color-coded. This corresponds with the lever inside the cab and also with the hose on each attachment. Moving to the bottom, we have the master cylinder. Make sure there are no visible leaks and occasionally check the fluid level. At the very bottom, we have the push frame holder. The attachment push frame is held in place with 2 latches. These latches are operated by the 2 levers on either side and held in place with the safety pins. The push frame holder is now ready to accept the push frame. Over on the right hand side, we have a dummy plug. This is an internally wired plug. It is used just about on all the attachments other than the rotary mower and the boom flail. These have their own wiring and plugs. With the other attachments, this plug must be plugged into the tractor receptacle with the tabs sticking up in order to lock underneath the catch of the lip. As a final check, circle the machine and verify that all the lights are working. Signal lights, headlights, strobe light, brake lights, and tail lights. In conclusion, always support raised equipment with the proper safety stands. Always shut down the machine before exiting the cab. To ensure operator and public safety while maintaining productivity, one must have a thorough understanding of the equipment, operation, and maintenance requirements. You must also be able to identify when and if the equipment needs repair and report it to the proper authority. And remember, if in doubt, please check the operator's, parts, or service manual. Plus, there is always a very useful tool at your disposal. Please do not hesitate to call your authorized Trackless dealer.